Luxembourg. It's a name that conjures up images of fairy tale castles, cobblestone streets, and an almost mythical level of wealth. This tiny nation, tucked away in the heart of Europe, consistently ranks among the world's richest. With a GDP per capita that dwarfs even giants like the United States, Luxembourg seems to have it all. It's a magnet for high finance, home to some of the biggest names in banking and investment. Walk the streets of Luxembourg City, and you'll be surrounded by gleaming skyscrapers, designer boutiques, and an air of effortless affluence. But there's another side to Luxembourg, a side that often gets lost in the glow of its economic success. It's a side that tourists rarely see, hidden away in the shadows of all that prosperity. It's a side where poverty, real and persistent poverty, exists alongside unimaginable wealth. This isn't a story of a few unfortunate souls falling through the cracks. This is about a systemic issue, a reality where a significant portion of the population struggles to keep their heads above water. My journey through Luxembourg took me beyond the polished facade, beyond the tourist traps in the financial districts. I wanted to see the real Luxembourg, the one that lives and breathes beneath the surface. And what I found was a stark contrast, a tale of two cities existing within the same borders. On one hand, you have the historical sites and landmarks that draw tourists from around the globe, showcasing the nation's rich heritage and culture. On the other, there's a burgeoning tech scene, with innovation hubs and startups that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Public transportation is efficient and widely used, connecting the various parts of the city seamlessly. Educational institutions here are top-notch, attracting students from all over the world. The healthcare system is robust, providing high-quality care to its residents. And let's not forget the parks and green spaces, offering a breath of fresh air amidst the urban landscape. Community events and local festivals bring people together, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. Luxembourg is a melting pot of cultures with a diverse population that adds to its unique charm. People from all walks of life come here to work, live, and thrive, contributing to the nation's dynamic economy. The nightlife is vibrant, with a plethora of options for entertainment and relaxation. The culinary scene is equally impressive, offering a wide range of dining experiences that cater to all tastes. Art galleries and museums abound, showcasing both local and international talent. Music festivals and cultural events are a regular occurrence, adding to the city's lively atmosphere. Sports facilities are top-notch, encouraging a healthy and active lifestyle. Environmental initiatives are also a priority, with efforts to make the city more sustainable and eco-friendly. The government is proactive, working to address the challenges and opportunities that come with being a small yet influential nation. As Luxembourg looks to the future, it continues to punch above its weight, balancing tradition with innovation and wealth with social responsibility. The contrast is jarring. One moment, you're strolling past Michelin-starred restaurants and high-end art galleries where the air is filled with the scent of gourmet cuisine and the chatter of affluent patrons. The next, you're in a neighborhood where the struggle for basic needs is a daily reality, where the buildings are worn and the lines at food banks stretch long. It's a dissonance that's hard to reconcile, a constant reminder that prosperity doesn't always trickle down. The stark contrast between wealth and poverty is visible at every turn. The face of poverty in Luxembourg isn't always what you'd expect. It's hidden in plain sight, often overshadowed by the nation's glittering facade. It's not just the homeless sleeping on the streets, although they exist too. It's a multifaceted issue that affects various segments of the population. It's the single mother working 2 jobs, still unable to afford a decent flat for her children. Her days are a relentless cycle of work and worry. It's the elderly couple, their pensions eaten away by the rising cost of living, forced to choose between heating and food. Their golden years are anything but golden. This isn't about envy or resentment towards those who have done well. It's about recognizing the disparities that exist and the need for a more inclusive prosperity. It's about acknowledging a shared humanity, a responsibility to care for those who are struggling. Community efforts are a testament to the power of collective action. Luxembourg's wealth is undeniable, but it's a wealth that hasn't reached every corner of the nation. The opulence of the financial district stands in stark contrast to the hardships faced by many. And until it does, the true measure of its success remains incomplete. The journey towards a more equitable society is ongoing, and it requires the effort and empathy of all. Statistics can feel cold, but they paint a clear picture. In Luxembourg, a country often lauded for its high standard of living, over 18% of the population is at risk of poverty or social exclusion. That's nearly 1 in 5 people struggling to make ends meet. The numbers are even more alarming for single-parent families and children. Over 30% of single-parent households live below the poverty line. Think about that for a moment. Imagine being a child, growing up in the shadow of immense wealth, yet going to bed hungry, unable to afford new clothes or school supplies. These statistics aren't just numbers on a page, they represent real lives, real families, real struggles. They tell a story of inequality, a story that needs to be told and understood if we're ever going to bridge the gap. I met Maria, a single mother of 2, working tirelessly as a cleaner in a luxury hotel. Every day she wakes up before dawn, prepares breakfast for her children, and heads to work, where she spends hours on her feet, cleaning rooms and lobbies that she could never afford to stay in. She told me about the impossible choices she faces every day, the constant worry about making rent, the shame she feels when she can't afford to buy her children new shoes. Maria's evenings are spent helping her kids with homework, often while worrying about the stack of bills on the kitchen table. Her story isn't unique. It's a narrative shared by many in this city, where the cost of living continues to rise but wages remain stagnant. It's a story echoed by countless others in Luxembourg, people working multiple jobs, sacrificing their health and well-being just to survive. They juggle shifts, often working late into the night only to wake up and do it all over again the next day. There's Pierre, a retired teacher, whose pension barely covers his rent in a city where housing costs have skyrocketed. Once a respected educator, he now finds himself struggling to make ends meet. He spends his days at the local soup kitchen, relying on the kindness of strangers for a hot meal. Pierre's story is a stark reminder of how quickly one's circumstances can change. These are the faces of Luxembourg's hidden poverty, the people who are often invisible, their voices drowned out by the roar of economic success. They are the silent sufferers, whose struggles are masked by the city's affluence. Their stories are a powerful reminder that behind the statistics, behind the economic indicators, are real human beings, deserving of dignity and support. We must not forget them, for their dreams and aspirations are just as valid as anyone else's. Section 5. The Why Behind the What, Unpacking Luxembourg's Economic Divide. So, how can such stark poverty exist in one of the world's richest nations? The answer is complex, a mix of soaring housing costs, stagnant wages for low-income earners, and a social safety net that, while present, isn't always enough to catch those falling through the cracks. Luxembourg's booming financial sector has attracted a highly skilled, highly paid workforce, driving up demand and prices for everything from housing to groceries. This creates a pressure cooker effect, where those at the lower end of the income scale are increasingly priced out of the very city they call home. It's a classic case of the rich getting richer while the poor struggle to keep up. And while government programs exist to help, the gap between the haves and the have-nots continues to widen. Section 6. Two Sides of the Same Coin. A Tale of Two Luxembourgs. Traveling through Luxembourg is like stepping into two different worlds. There's the Luxembourg of postcards and travel brochures, the one with the charming villages, rolling vineyards and imposing castles. This Luxembourg is a fairy tale, a place of beauty and tranquility. Then there's the other Luxembourg, the one hidden in plain sight. It's the Luxembourg of food banks and shelters, of families struggling to make ends meet, of a growing sense of inequality. This Luxembourg is a stark reminder that even in the heart of Europe, poverty casts a long shadow. It's the juxtaposition of these two realities that makes Luxembourg such a complex and fascinating place. It's a country grappling with its own success, trying to find a way to ensure that prosperity reaches all its citizens. Section 7. A Shared Humanity, Bridging the Gap Between Worlds. It's easy to be blinded by the glitter of wealth, to turn a blind eye to the struggles of others. But poverty, in all its forms, is a stain on our collective conscience. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected, that the well-being of one affects us all. The stories I heard in Luxembourg weren't just stories of hardship. They were also stories of resilience, of community, of people helping each other through difficult times. I met volunteers at food banks, social workers going above and beyond to support families, neighbors looking out for each other. These acts of kindness, however small, offer a glimmer of hope. They show that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit of compassion can prevail. Section 8. Beyond awareness, turning empathy into action. It's not enough to simply acknowledge that poverty exists. We must move beyond awareness to action, to find tangible ways to make a difference. This starts with supporting organizations working on the ground, providing food, shelter, and job training to those in need. It means advocating for policies that address income inequality, that ensure everyone has access to affordable housing, healthcare, and education. It means challenging the status quo, asking tough questions about how wealth is distributed, and demanding a more just and equitable society. Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to positive change. Section 9. Stay connected. The journey continues. This isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. I urge you to delve deeper, to learn more about the realities of poverty in Luxembourg and beyond. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our ongoing coverage of this important issue. Together, we can shine a light on the hidden corners of our world and work towards a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.